Man United 1, Southampton 0. We needed that, man. We needed that badly. Very, very badly. And when you win a game like that, in the position where we're coming from, I have to start with the positives. Togetherness, understanding, grit, application, determination, and teamwork. All of those buzzwords, because that's what it took in a game where offensively we wasn't quite there, the rhythm wasn't quite there. Could we show a bit? You know, I got to start right at the heart of defence. Martinez. This guy, he's going up and down the gears. He's going, well, not even down the gears, he's going up the gears. He gets man of the match again today. And him alongside Varane, they're starting to just form that relationship. They're starting to understand each other. There's been so much made about Martinez can't play there because of his height, right? And the lack of headers that he's not gonna win. But the key is it doesn't matter about that. If you've got a partner and you're switched on with your partner and you're on the same wavelength, just wrap round. Martinez doesn't have to win every header. And what he's fantastic at doing is winning all of his duels. He won all of his ground duels. 100% success rate. The guy is literally a pit bull. I know they call him the butcher, but that's what he does. He's just in on a tackle. He's in on his opposite number. And yes, there's a couple of times he might get shaken off and Che Adams might get the better of him. But by and large, like Erik ten Hag says, he's winning his duels. And what that does is that just breathes throughout the whole back line. I'm looking at them all high-fiving. I'm looking at them all fist-pumping and bigging each other up, all hugging for little things like throw-ins and corners and clearances and goal kicks. That's building blocks. Malacia was part of that as well. Dalot was aggressive today as well. 6 interceptions for him, 6 for Malacia. They were at it. It wasn't perfect, but they were at it. And David De Gea didn't have much to do, to be fair, but apart from the save that he makes, which is a routine save, but he did his thing. He was okay. Midfield, Christian Eriksen. First 20 minutes, I thought he was unbelievable. Exactly what we've been missing. Knowing how to keep on the ball, knowing what to do on the ball, bringing people into play, little balls round the corners, little switches of play. Just really, really acute. And the biggest thing you could accuse us of, especially in the first half, was just not scoring in that little 15, 20-minute periods where we had those flurry of chances, and then the performance level dipped. But those are progressive things. Those are things that we know we're not there yet. What I was proud of is that, yes, the tables then turned in the first half, halfway through it, after sort of about 25 minutes. You started to see our performance level dip, and it got very bitty. There wasn't really much control of the game. There wasn't really much quality on the ball. And we just started doing silly things on the ball. But, and the positive is that we remained as a unit. We're not at the stage of our development yet where we're polished, where everything is smooth, where everything is slick, everything is one after the other. We're not at that stage yet. We are very, very early in this. We've only just got our first win last week. And this today proves the type of win was yesterday, the type of performance needed to get that win against the Liverpool side versus today's win against Southampton. 2 chalk and cheese types of games, 2 chalk and cheese types of challenges. And I feel that today exposed, you know, not even exposed actually, because we knew it already. So I think exposed is probably a too strong a word, but it reminded us of how far we've got to go, and that area is going to take time. But what you can do in the meantime, while you're trying to build a style of play, while you're trying to be proactive on the ball, while you're trying to be brave on the ball, is solidity. You can build good foundations by just doing the basics right. And defensively, off the ball, we did that today. We were hard to break down. We were compact. There wasn't, there wasn't players running in behind them or running back towards our own goal. A lot of the chances we conceded were pretty much in front of us, And we did concede a few chances, and I think it did help the fact that Southampton have a really young side. Sometimes they let us off the hook a little bit, but by and large, it was because of our defending that we wasn't ever in huge trouble. When we're watching it live, you don't feel like that because, we're nervous. We've only just got the first win after 2 losses. We know how badly we needed that. So as a fan, you're a bit nervous. But in hindsight, when I look back here, I'm like, do you know what? We were fairly comfortable. And the most important thing is building blocks. Now, some of the negatives is the lack of focal point up front. Most games aren't going to be how they were against Liverpool on Monday night. They're not. They're not going to be against teams who dominate us. They're not going to be against teams who play a high line and try and stick it on us. And once we've beaten that press and can work hard or nick it in their attacking thirds, we're in on goal. Most games will probably be like this, against the rest of the league. And that is something that we have to work on, and it will come. But the lack of focal point, Martial being out was a big problem. I think you don't see the best side of Rashford's game in this type of game against a team that sits back. You want there to be a striker who maybe comes off the front, gets on a half turn, releases it, then gets on the run. link up little bits of triangles, basically everything that Martial can give you. And some of the things that Ronaldo can't give you, hence he didn't start today as well. So that is a problem. And knowing that Ronaldo is probably going to leave, or looks like he's trying to leave, or whatever, however that plays out, basically Ten Hag couldn't give any assurances that he's going to stay. So let's just take it that, that could be the last time we've seen Ronaldo in a Man United shirt. I'm not saying it is, it could be. And if it is, we already know we can't focus on Martial and rely on him solely as that. He's already had 2 injuries this season in 3 games. So it's a massive problem. Even if we do get Anthony, for me, it's still a big problem having just Martial there and then saying you have to play Rashford through the middle in most of the games, because as we've seen, that's going to take a while to develop Rashford into a number 9 that can be effective against that sort of team. So look, we've got a long way to go, but my God, did we need that. The main thing right now is about confidence. It's about wins as well. I was saying to KG and Owen during the streaming to you guys, I was like, the easiest way for Erik ten Hag to get the players on board, yes, his standards, yes, his discipline, yes, his being strict, but ultimately it's results. If the players see that we're winning games and the points are racking up, and they see people like Martinez and Malacia high-fiving, bringing in that winning mentality, then you add Casemiro into that as well. Then you get everyone on board, and look at the message you're sending to the other players who ain't playing. Luke Shaw and Harry Maguire in particular at the moment, and obviously Ronaldo, but he won't think of it this way. More so Maguire and Shaw. They're looking at it going, I tell you what, I've got my work cut out getting back in that team. You know what I mean? I hope Thursday doesn't come too soon for Raphael Varane, because we do need to manage him with injuries, but you need to roll them out again. That's the first clean sheet we've kept in ages on the road. And just in general, I think it's the first clean sheet we've kept probably since we beat, Brentford 3-0 at the end of last season? Probably since then, yeah, because then we lost every game after that, I think, something like that. So that is the first time in a long time we've kept a clean sheet, and especially on the road, something we found very difficult. You want to keep that back 5, including the keeper, intact as much as possible. Scott McTominay today, again, this was the type of game that suits Scott McTominay. There's been a lot of debate that obviously now we've got Casemiro. Yeah, let's let McTominay go to West Ham. Let's just get rid of him. Let him go to Everton or whoever's interested or whatever it is. No, I think today showed, and again, you guys can call me crazy and say, no, this is the problem with the fan base. That's fine, that's your opinion. But for me, it's a squad game. And also, Erik ten Hag can't just rip it all up and get rid of players because we've got Casemiro. What happens if he gets injured? He's going to have to rely on these players. You can phase McTominay out slowly, but there are games when you need that type of thing that he brought today. We were very bitty. We wasn't good in possession. It was quite messy, but he used his physicality really well. He did. Sancho today, a little bit quiet. And again, Erik ten Hag not afraid to take him off. Elanga was poor for large parts, but then when we came into our element, when we scored the goal, it was from a bit of bravery from him, taking players on and driving from outside to in. And then you get to Bruno. Listen, I think today perfectly encapsulates the type of player Bruno is. You saw my thoughts on his gameplay and the role that he has in this squad and the worries that I have over it. And I literally said in the stream, but he's the sort of player who can play like this in the first half, but will have a say over the final result. Kind of like the old Bruno, you can make a pass when he does things like that. What a finish that was as well. And it's good for Dalot to get the assist, but it was a fantastic finish from Bruno. And that's what he's capable of doing. Frustrating you for large parts of the game, but other times he can just come through clutch. So look, listen, a massive win. Martinez, man of the match. Martinez is a monster. He really, really is. And I'm so glad he started in this vein, because the two losses essentially were almost like they're just put onto him because he's 5'9" or whatever he is. So it's a big win. My man of the match, Malacia, and roll on Leicester. I'll take another 1-0 win on the road again. Peace.